You're live on the air. What's your name, comment, and a question?
Hey Ben, it's Patrick from Miramar, Florida calling.
Patrick, my main man, what's on your mind, man? Thanks for the call.
Well, I mean, just a slight pushback to what you're saying. I agree theoretically with what you're saying, but I'm speaking from purely my own anecdotal experiences from the barbershop.
Okay.
I'm in there every 2 weeks getting a haircut, and we talk about this, and it almost kind of reminds me of trying to talk to a Republican about global warming and how their base have been programmed to believe that's a hoax. So no matter what facts you bring, you can't argue with someone when you guys can agree on the facts. And I can't tell you how many heated barbershop discussions I have, and I realize that the Clintons have been laying down this foundation way before the election. And I agree with you. It's like since '08, after the inauguration, they started laying down this foundation that they are pro-black and they're on black people's side. So even if, at least from my own personal experience, when you try to engage in a conversation, you're not starting from a neutral position. You must first debunk the Clinton myth first. It's not like we had two new politicians who no one's used to. Then you start right from the middle, from the objective position, and you can convince someone we're starting at a deficit. And that's just my own personal experience.
No, I don't disagree with you. I agree with you. I
hear
agree
your
with you 100%.
comment on YouTube.
Well, okay, yeah. Appreciate the call, man. It's always a pleasure. For me, we are starting at a deficit, which requires extra effort. It requires extra effort, right? It requires personal relationships. It requires the fact that, for example, okay, I'm just going to be 100% transparent. God, y'all get me to tell everything. I hope she sleeps. Does my wife sleep? All right, here's a secret. Let me tell you how you do this. Number one, you can never force something down somebody's throat. You can't. I will not ask my wife who she's voting for. Not yet. Not yet. Because I don't want to force who I think is best down her throat. What I'm going to do instead is just little by little expose her to the very best things about what Bernie Sanders stands for. Little by little, I might drop something in her mailbox about his civil rights activism. You know, better coming from me than maybe her white coworker. Little by little, I'm going to expose her to the differences in policies. Little by little. It's a slow relationship that must be built. You cannot, sorry, 607, call me back. You cannot do it in one sitting. Because if you're dealing with people, not that my wife is this person, but I'm just using this as an example. Yes, I know, Robert, Jordan, I do know the rules of the castle. More importantly, I know the rules of women. I will applaud myself there because I do. But anyway, I know the rules of communication, and the rules of communication is simply this: you cannot force a concept on someone. They have to see it for themselves. And so all you can do is very gently lay out the truth. You may not win, you may not, but you definitely will lose if you try to shove it down their throat. Now, somebody in the chat room wants to know why the Sanders subreddit, because no one else is really having a meaningful conversation like that, right? You know, we are over there all week long. I'm actually a part of it. I'm actually taking questions every single day about these things in specific, right? And we want to get it on the record of what we can do to actually fight back against the false narrative, because the false narrative is so detrimental to America in general. All right, let me take this last caller. Well, actually, I'm going to take one more caller after this. I'm waiting on